Hello, welcome to my channel. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that notification bell so you know every time I post a video. Let's jump right into it. I have another one. DJ Khaled voice. Okay, this is part 2 to my previous video about men are actors in relationships. And I just want to bring this on home. Listen, no one is introducing themselves as, "Hi, my name is Bob. I'm a serial killer. What do you do for a living?" It's not happening. It's not happening. Men are not coming out overtly, "Oh, hi, I'm a narcissist. I don't care about your feelings. I'm apathetic. I don't care anything about you. This whole relationship is going to revolve around me." No one is coming out right introducing themselves like that, talking like that, or anything along those lines. But men want to swear up and down that, "Oh, you guys choose the worst people out there. Y'all love thugs. Y'all love, the most horrible people out there." Granted, everyone's not Nicki Minaj. Everyone does not know the person's rap sheet and still deal with them anyway. That's not the norm. Okay? We need to get rid of this narrative that all black women are dating the thugs, all black women are dating the bad boys. That's not always true. But what is true is that once we see those signs, we need to leave that person alone. But here's why it's so hard to leave that person alone. Is because when you first meet the person, they're coming as the Chucky doll in a nice little package, very nice. "Hi, my name is Chucky," right? They're coming off so nice. Do not fall in love with the representative, because they're not going to shake you in the car the first date. They're not going to slam you up against the wall date number 3. It's not happening. The representative, oftentimes, they have to groom you. The actor has to allow you to take the bait and move forward. They're not going to come off as this horrible person. They're going to groom you. They're going to treat you a certain way. They're going to love bomb you. They're going to make you feel like you are the only person in the world. Then they're going to drop the hammer. Right? They're not going to come off that way. So the reason why a lot of women are staying is because they're waiting for the guy they met the first time. And sis, no, the guy you met the first time was the representative. That was the representative. That was not the dude you're dealing with now. He put on the representative to lure you in or whatever, but that's not who he is. Who he really is the guy who's in front of you year number 2. That's who he really is. And so if that's who he is, you can't change him back to the representative. You have to know that. So let's talk about serial. I looked it up, child. It's repeatedly committing the same offense and typically following a characteristic of predictable behavior patterns, right? And so there's a pattern of this person doing this. Y'all, I went up and I looked up some serial killers. The most charismatic one was Ted Bundy, child. He was luring women. He was murdering women. He was sleeping with them. He had decapitated heads. Like, it was real talk. And then there was a Jeffrey Dahmer. I looked up his information. The man looked like a model, okay? 6 foot, blonde hair. You know what I mean? A looker. But he was out here killing women, decapitating boys, and all this other stuff. Like, it was really crazy what I found out about this guy. And so you can't just judge someone on face value alone. That's not enough for you to determine who a person is. Usually, when you hear about serial killers, when they're captured, or snipers, when they go interview the neighbors, what do the neighbors say? "I had no idea that's who he was. He was at the PTA meeting. His kids played with my kids." Like, people are usually shocked. They had no idea that person was up there decapitating kids and doing all this, had women in the basement and all this other. They had no idea until the women are released. "Oh yeah, I did hear noises at night. I didn't know what was going on." And they're usually shocked Sometimes you do hear the interviews where, yeah, he was kind of weird. He wore black all the time. He didn't talk to us. But oftentimes it's usually the neighbors are shocked. They had no idea. The man said good morning every day. They had no idea. And that's how oftentimes serial heartbreakers are. They have insecurities that's going to come out, and we don't pay attention to the signs. So I want to tell you this. Do not fill in the blanks for the person. Let him show you who he is. Ask the right questions. Do not assume anything. Don't assume anything. Separate his persona from his character. You know what's really, really sad? Nowadays, you cannot just believe what the person says. Now, people are blaming women. Oh, it's your fault. You don't know he's married. There's a lot of information out here. You could do research to get the marriage license. Now, you can't just ask him only, are you married? Now, sis, you got to get a private investigator. You got to have somebody on the inside, CSI Miami, honey, forensic files to look into his history. Is he married? Has he been locked up? Background check or whatever. Even if you ask him, you got to do your own research. But then what happens if he got kids in another country? Like, it's crazy. A lot of these guys, they have a don't ask, don't tell policy. Some of them are lying, and women are being blamed. Well, if he don't talk to you after 9 o'clock, that means he have a family. How are you supposed to know stuff like that? They're not holding men accountable for these men for being liars and lying about not having a family and lying about not doing this. They're blaming you for not doing fingerprinting, background checks, doing black light tests. They're blaming you for not doing that, or whatever the case may be, which I don't think is right. But I'm telling you, do the extra step. You don't have to be in his face talking about all men are dogs, all of y'all are the same. Don't do that. Don't come out like that. Don't come in with that energy, or whatever the case may be. You might feel some type of way. Don't come at him with that, because you're not going to get the information that you need. He's going to shut down. You know what I mean? Ask the questions, get the information you need. And if he's a type of man that does not answer your questions directly, ask him direct questions. Don't beat around the bush. It's not what you say, it's how you ask the question. But if he's mysterious, he don't want to answer questions, he's dodging bullets, that's a red flag. You know what I mean? Don't ask the question, where were you? Like your interrogation, where were you on the night of? Don't come at him like that, because nobody wants that type of energy. But just ask him, be honest with him. Ask him, have a conversation with him, because you want to know the truth. You don't want any surprises later. And you know what? Some men are very candid, and they will tell you, you know what? Back in the day, I was young, I was dumb, and I was out here doing stuff I wasn't supposed to do or whatever, and I caught a charge. And some men will tell you that. You decide, you go find out, sis, what the charge is. Go find out what it is for real. You know what I mean? But, I'm not gonna say, hey, throw that dude away. That's not a preference. You know what I mean? But find out what it is. Get some answers. Find out what the issue is, or whatever the case may be. We just go into situations blindly. We just allow men to just because he's smiling in my face, he's a good person. No, but then you can't accuse everybody out here. No. Find out what you need to know, and then make a sound decision from there. Hold him accountable for his actions. If he say he's going to do something, if he doesn't do what he say, call him out on it and see how he responds to it. If he shuts down emotionally, if he yells at you, find out how he responds to critique. Find out how he responds to criticism, constructive criticism. Find out, how does he channel his anger? Does he know how to communicate effectively? Find that out. I remember having a conversation with someone, years ago. I was opening a bank account, and dude was kind of flirting at the time. And he was like, so what do you do? What did you go to school for? And I told him, the degrees that I have. And he was like, oh, so you have your master's? And I said, yes, I do. And he was like, oh, so you don't need a man, huh? I said, what? What are you talking about? Oh, because you have your master's, you don't need a man. I said, I never said that. But that's what most women who have a certain type of education, that's how they are. I was like, whoa. And I that insecurity started popping up. I said, ooh, what's that? So I said, so what do you do? What did you go to school for? He's like, oh, I just have my bachelor's. He said, I just have my bachelor's. That's an accomplishment. But because I had a certain other accomplishment, he minimized what he had or whatever. And it's just like, I was like, celebrate what you have or whatever the case may be. And so, you don't want to spend the rest of your life trying to walk on eggshells because he don't feel, a certain way. He was projecting his insecurities on me. It had nothing to do with me. I was having a nice conversation with dude or whatever the case may be, but he, felt some type of way. And so that's an insecurity. I want to let y'all know this. Jealousy is not sexy. It's not. And so sometimes, oh my gosh, he doesn't want me to go out with my friends. He wants me all to himself. No, sis, that's an insecurity. He could be protective of you or whatever. He want to make sure you're safe. But a man who all of a sudden, you can't be around nobody, that's an insecurity that he has that needs to be checked. And if it's not checked, you need to leave it alone, right? You need to leave that alone or whatever. I remember listening to an interview that Tyrese had put out there years ago when he was on that relationship guru tip. And he was talking about this one relationship that he was in. And I will never forget it. He said he was with this nice woman. She was very, very sweet or whatever the case may be. But he was raised in a household where his mom was always yelling and kind of verbally abusive. So that's how he identified love as a woman who's yelling at him and fussing at him. And so he purposely did things to push that woman over the edge. And when she finally snapped and started yelling at him and, acting in the way that he finds normal, which of course is dysfunctional, he was like, yes, I got her. I broke her. She does love me because she's yelling at me. And so you see how some men will push a woman over the edge. And he was like, you know what? Now that I've grown up, I can't take a woman that's talking loud. I can't take a woman. But you see, how many women did he have to break? Tyrese, the singer, how many women did he have to break in order for him to realize that that's not normal? So he broke all those women and now moved on and married a woman that's not even like that. So it's just like there's a lot of men that will cut you with their brokenness. They are weapons of mass destruction, terrorists. I'm telling you. But we don't negotiate with terrorists around here. So don't deal with those type of men. When they come off and mask off, okay? Hashtag mask off. Believe who you're seeing in front of you. That's who he really is. Okay, there's men who will purposely try to break you. There's men who are insecure. They're jealous. They don't know who they are. Oh, you're intimidating. No. He's intimidated by you. And there's nothing wrong with your accolades. There's nothing wrong with where you are as a woman, as a person. Don't allow them to change that. And we live in a society right now that celebrates heartbreakers. When you see the little boys, they're saying, oh, you got a heartbreaker on your hands because he's cute and stuff. And they don't say stuff like that. Don't speak that over children. Oh, you're a heartbreaker. No, call that little boy, you're a gentleman. I see a gentleman. He's so sweet. He's so that. Don't call them heartbreakers. Don't say stuff like that to the little boys. You know what I mean? So I just want to let y'all know, not all men are out here. I'm not trying to villainize men, but what I can't stand is the one-sided talk of women choosing bad men when all men are not coming off overtly crazy. But when you see crazy coming from across the street, like Iyanla say, run. Don't settle for these type of men. Even if he look good, even if he have a good game, no matter what position he holds in society, he could turn out to be the other side of Chucky, and that's not what you want to deal with. I am so serious. It's making me think about Once you start holding them accountable, then they will flee from you. They're going to manifest. They're going to come out. It made me think about the little story Red Riding Hood, when the wolf was dressed up as her grandmother and she started calling the wolf out. My grandma, what big eyes you have. Oh, better to see you with, my dear, right? We remember that story? You know, grandma, what long arms you have. Well, better to hug you with, my darling, right? You know, oh, grandma, what long teeth you have. And oh, better to eat you up. And you know how that story goes. So when you start calling out the insecurities, you start calling out the F-boy tendencies, you start calling out what you see. Stop pretending you don't see what you don't see. You see it. Call it out. Tell him, you know, I didn't like when you said this the other day. See how he responds to that. F-boys love you going with the flow and you not calling them out on it. They're going to make a big blow up. Oh, I'm not like the other dudes. You don't know a good man when you see it. Let him blow up. Let him see. Let him see himself and you see who he is and run if he doesn't fit what you're trying to go for. Okay, leave Chucky in 2018. Leave the F-boys in 2018. Leave them alone. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to villainize them, but if you're telling us we need to choose better, then guess what? We need to leave the people that continue to perpetuate these cycles of brokenness in the Black community. Leave the womanizers alone. If he's flirting with the waitress, he's flirting with all these people, he don't know how to set boundaries. If you tell a man, hey, I don't like when you do this, and he's like, I don't care, then you know he's not going to make the proper adjustments to make the relationship grow. Leave him alone. Leave all these men alone. Okay? Deal with the men that are willing to set boundaries with other women. Deal with the men that you check him on something, he makes the adjustment. You have to be willing to accept his critique and criticism as well. As long as it doesn't go against your values and what you stand for, you can make adjustments too. It's a partnership, but leave these old dusties alone. All right, well, that's it for this video. Have a great day.